This meeting is being recorded.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining on our tutorial on how and why to set up a charity team and what does that really mean. So I am Sarah Cran-Cement, the director of Friendship Circle. I am joined by Tanya and Suzanne, who both work with Friendship Circle, as well as Gitti, who will be joining us momentarily on video, and she is from the Charidy platform, which we are very excited to use for the third year in a row. And we are hopeful that we are going to be able to raise a significant portion of our annual budget through this peer-to-peer fundraising campaign through our charity campaign. We need this to work, and we are really hoping that you're going to help us make it happen because we can't do it by ourselves. So let's see what that means. Tanya, go ahead. Thank you. So the theme of our campaign this year is called Share Your Light. We are coming off the pandemic. We have had so many, actually our first charity campaign was during the pandemic. And at that time, we really spoke about it being a life-saving entity. Friendship, we all learned that we desperately need. We need social interaction. And so that's what we focused on the last 2 years. And that is certainly still the case. And today we have the luxury and the privilege to be able to focus on something new, which is we're calling it Share Your Light. At Friendship Circle, our belief and our value is that each person is unique. Each person has something only they can share with the world around them and with the people around them. And so from now, actually this year going forward, all of our t-shirts we're working on and our messaging is really starting to be pushing this message of share your light, because that is not only what we believe, but that is what we strive to do. As you can see in these gorgeous pictures below, we really try to bring people together and to learn to value the light in each person that we meet equally, right? Our friends and our children with disabilities and young adults, together with our teen friends that do not have disabilities, each person comes together. They get to each share their light with each other, with their families. And that is why Friendship Circle is so important, because we really do all of that light to share. So let's make it shine. Next slide. So now explain how all of that happens through charity. Let's see what that is. So I'm going to kind of give us a quick background, and then I would love to hear from Gitti from Charidy, from her experience working on, I don't even know how many tens of hundreds of thousands of campaigns that Charidy has done. It would be really great to understand why Charidy is such an amazing platform. But I'm going to give you just a quick, if it's okay, Gitti, just a quick overview. A charity campaign, as I mentioned, is a peer-to-peer fundraising campaign and platform. And what happens is we are going to try to raise this year the most we've ever raised. Our goal is $120,000. Friendship Circle, our annual budget is about $180,000, give or take, depending on what we do each year. And so 120 for us is game changing. It allows us to bring on new hires. It allows us to continue with our staff. It allows us to create programs in which our kids and their families and their siblings get to come free to all of our events. And it allows us to continue to grow and nurture our friendships, our relationships in our community. So this is vital for us. And the way that that works is that if we want to raise 120,000, we have to first get half of that, at the very least, in matched donors. So we've been working furiously behind the scenes to try to raise at least $60,000 before our campaign goes live. The campaign is going to go live for only 36 hours on February 21st and 22nd. And when it goes live, we are going to try to raise as a community the other 60,000. And every dollar that we raise on those 36 hours is doubled. So if you give us 10, it gets matched by the money that we've already raised for a total of 20. And by the end, hopefully we are going to raise a successful, incredible $120,000 to help us continue what we're doing. So that's the basics of it. And we'll get into the specifics in a minute. Gitti, can you tell us anything about Charidy that we might want to know?
What you'll see is that the power of charity is the power of friends, and crowdfunding is the power of your friend. It's really not crowdfunding, it's friend raising, because it's about your network and your friends and your community. And that's where the power lies.
So we didn't get into the details on how we do that yet, but can you tell us where?
You want me to?
Yeah, please tell us. Yeah, and also maybe lean in a little bit because it's a bit hard to hear you.
Okay, sure. Do you want to stop sharing your screen just so I can see everyone on there? Thank you. Hey everyone, how are you? Okay, so I don't know who here has done this before, who here hasn't, but what charity campaigns are, what we do is crowdfunding. So What this means is there are so many fantastic, wonderful organizations in the world, and you guys happen to be part of one of them. You guys are part of the Friendship Circle. And there's a lot of great marketing for lots of nonprofits, and people see lots of all nonprofits have to raise. So your question is, how do we stand out from the crowd to raise funds for an incredible organization? How do we stand out amongst the other nonprofits? And the answer is by taking on a personal fundraising page for the Friendship Circle. Because when I see Adele's name attached to a campaign, I'm like, oh, Adele's my friend, let me donate to her campaign, let me help her. Because if she's part of it, then I know this is legit and I want to be part of it too. 33% of all donations right now, like pretty much in the US, are done through peer-to-peer campaigns, and that number is growing, which means you guys are the power that organizations have to do all the great work they do, because you are the way that they are going to get funded. 33% of what they need to raise will come from the people who love them, and that's the people on this call. It sounds like a lot, right? We need to raise a big sum of money, but the way to eat an elephant, right? One bite at a time. So with everyone here taking out a portion of that goal, it really, really is possible. We know it's possible because we've done it in lanes of these campaigns. It's possible to reach your goal. So what do I mean? Everyone here, and I don't know if Sarah, if you've talked to them about this or if you've shown the page yet of what it looks like, but everyone here takes out a goal. I'm going to work with small numbers because those are easier to like demonstrate what I want to talk about. But you can imagine this as 100,000. You can talk about this as 80,000, 5,000, 2,800, 3,500, $1,800. So let's say you're taking on a team goal of $1,000, or if I ask you, hey, can you take on a team page? Let's role play this for just a second. Adele, can I use you as an example? Just because I see your name first, I guess because can I use you? Okay. So you go up, Mike. Adele, what would your goal be for the Charidy campaign? I can't hear you because you're muted.
$360.
Okay, amazing. So when I ask people that question, they have two responses. One is, well, I don't know what my goal can be, or they give me a goal. So my next question is, how are you going to get to your goal? So for Adele, who are you going to ask? Friends, family, colleagues, who are you going to ask for a donation?
Anybody who knows me.
I love it, right? Anyone.
Knows what I love. So yes.
Say it again.
Anybody who knows me and knows how much I love this organization.
I love that. So can we think of a friend? Let's name a friend. Let's think of a friend that you think of. You can make up a friend, or you can think about them in your mind. So who are you asking? Who are you messaging, texting, calling?
One of my friendly neighbors.
Okay. So think of that person. How much is that person going to give?
I really don't know.
Great question. Great. That's a good response, because we don't know what's happening in someone else's wallet. We know what's going in their bank account. So you could go a guess, or you could just ask for a general donation. So for example, I'm calling your friendly neighbor. I don't know. I'm gonna give your neighbor some character or personality here. But my neighbor has a nice job. She goes out to eat a lot. I see Uber Eats coming to her door every day. So I know she has she's not super tight in cash. So I know she can give, let's say, between maybe 18, 36, 54. I don't know. Let's say 36. That's good for your friendly neighbor next door. 54. Like, do you think that would make sense for her? Okay, I'm getting a nod. So all right. So I'm gonna call her and say, hey, Suzanne. Her name is Suzanne now. I'm doing this really incredible thing for Friendship Circle. Have you heard of it? No, you haven't. Great, I'll tell you about it. And I've been calling up, my friends and family, asking them to give a donation toward my team page. I take on a really ambitious goal of raising $360 for my team page. And so if you have an amount you wanted to give, you would say something like, I was hoping I could count on you for a gift of $36. Or if you don't feel comfortable giving her an exact amount that you're asking for, you would say like a range. So you would say something like, oh, I'm calling friends and family. People have been really generous, giving between 36 and 54. And you're hoping that she'll land that lower half of that range, like 36 and 54. She's still 36. You're giving her that range. And that's kind of how that conversation would go. Does that make sense, Adele? Is that what you would do on your call, or what would you do differently? Let's talk about it.
I mean, I don't know that I feel comfortable giving people a specific number and just helping people see. I think that every little bit helps. And, I think that I will get more contributions if I make it clear to people that whatever you feel comfortable giving is important to us, and it's going to be matched. And, just please feel free to do that.
I love it. So two things that you said I want to come from. One is that you think every little bit helps. And the answer to that is yes. Because if I come to a campaign, there's only like 5 donations, I think, okay, this is not an organization that people care about, and I'm not super interested in giving because it doesn't seem to have any momentum here. So every donation creates momentum, no matter what the size, 10, 20, 30, 40, 100, 10,000, all makes a difference. The other thing you want to talk about is a small donation, can turn into a big donation over time. Michael Bloomberg's, the former mayor of New York City's first donation to Johns Hopkins College was $20. he's a millionaire now. His donations have grown quite a bit. So you're cultivating donors for the future. Big goals inspire big donations. So Adele, for example, if you could think of 10 people who can give 36. So like 5 friends, 5 colleagues, and 5 family members, you can go even beyond the 360. Like I would challenge you to think of people, and you don't have to do this, but I think I think you could really raise $1,000. I'll tell you why. If you can think of 10 friends, 10 family members, and 10 colleagues to give you $36, you've raised $1,000, because 28 times 36 is about 1,000. So you just think about that. If you can find 15 people to donate, let's say $50 or $54, which is like another, multiplication of high 18, 15 people at 54, you can raise 1,000. So let's do half of that. Can you think of 15 people who could donate 36?
Yeah, possibly, but I've been in campaigns like this before for Ride for the Living. And when I've put a reasonable goal like that, it always surpasses it. People are like really excited to see that, oh, we helped Adele get past her goal. So I'd rather put it that way.
I love that. So it's interesting because we found more that bigger goals inspire the bigger amount of the donations. So for example, if my niece has a goal on her page to raise 360, maybe I'll give 36. But if I see my niece has a $1,000 goal, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want to help my niece get to her goal. I may take my $36 and all of a sudden I'll give 72 because she's aiming high. So I want to aim high with her because of that relationship. So I would suggest, like, I want you to do what's comfortable, but consider pushing your goal up if possible, if you think you can do it. It's just a thought. But that was great. I like that Adele had an idea for her goal, and she also knows how she's going to get there. She has ideas of people who she's going to ask. But I would challenge you to make a list of people you're going to ask. Let's say 30 people. 20 of them give $54. You've already raised over 1,000. 20 of them give. Because the idea in fundraising is that if you ask, like 1/3 of people you ask will give. So 60 people will get you 20 people to give, and that can really be a huge number. Any questions or pushback on this? Any thoughts on that? Any success you've seen in the past, Adele, that you want to share with everyone on this call?
Well, I mean, I've been successful in other goals like this with specifically the JCC in Krakow.
Do you want to share anything, any of your success stories here tips or tricks that worked for you, that worked for everyone else?
No, I don't think I had any special tricks. I just, I knew that I was approaching people that knew it was something that I was committed to.
Love that. But I want to say something that you said that's important, is that you're approaching people, with people know that you're committed to it, but also the fact that you were approaching people. And I think that people underestimate the power of what that is that the number one reason why people don't give is simply because they're not asked. That's the whole trick. That is your tip and trick, is that if you're not making the ask, they're not giving. So all you can do is open that door, and they can choose to step in or not, but you need to open that door. So however you want to make your ask, through texting, WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, phone calls, make that ask, and you'll be surprised at people who give. I worked with an organization in the city, Tuesday's Child, and somebody posted on Facebook, and his 10th grade girlfriend gave him like $10. And this is a man who's 40 years old. 10th grade was probably a while ago, but these things do matter. So just making the ask, you'll be surprised by who will give. So I'm encouraging everyone to make a list of like at least 30 people if you can, and ask, and then just make the ask, put the word out there, post everywhere you can, and you think you'll be surprised by what happens. Are we doing a WhatsApp group for volunteers, Sarah or Tanya? I'm not sure about that.
No.
Okay. So just as a reminder, every donation creates momentum no matter the size. Big goals will inspire bigger donations. So I encourage you to think about even inching your goal a little bit more than what you think you can get. Make it ambitious but achievable, obviously. And don't be afraid of making the ask, because by making the ask, you will open up the doors to a lot of different opportunities for people to give. If they say no, you can ask them to share the link. They can do so many more things than just give. They can share, they can spread the word, all those things.
Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. That was really helpful. And I actually like the role play back and forth. I know that when we did, thank you, Adele, for being so agreeable. I know that when we did our first charity campaign, when we first started, Tanya, you can throw up the next slide. When we did our first charity campaign, our goal was $60,000 because I was nervous about asking us to raise more for our first time. And the charity team came back and they said, you're going to see, you're going to be surprised, you're going to be able to do more. Everyone doesn't think they can do it, but you can. And in the end, they were right, because there's one thing that I learned, which is that People want to give to you, right? Adele, you said that. People want to give to you. They may know Friendship Circle, they may know it's a great organization, but people care about you. And if you make that ask not just something on social media, but even a text message, something personal, people will give because you asked. And that's really what matters. All right, we're going to fly through the rest of these slides. So we kind of discussed the things that are needed in this campaign. We really need people. We have our matchers that we've curated to give us a good portion of our fundraising goal. We need you to create your list of your families, friends, coworkers, whoever you feel you can reach out to. And we really need these team captains. We need people to raise, even if you're going to try to donate $100, if you actually take the time to make yourself a link and you send it, then you will be able to raise more. We've seen it happen year to year. So even if your goal is $100, by creating a team link, you will give yourself the opportunity to even raise more than that. And it's really important for us that you do that. We really need your help. Next slide. Next slide. So after we finish this presentation, if anybody wants to stay on, Tanya, who is here, can show you live actually how to go on and make your page, but it's quite simple. If you go to charidy.com/FCVA, there's a piece right there that says, as you can see, it says on the right of the donate now button, it says create my team. You create your team, you put in your team name, you can edit your link a little to say cement family or whatever you want. You put in the goal of how much money you want to raise, your personal info and your message. We have templates that you can use, so you can just copy and paste. And if you want to put something else in there that's more meaningful, you can. If you would like to add a picture, that always is helpful. You don't have to, but it's advised. And that's it. And you hit create team. And then you get your own little link that says, charidy.com/FCVA/cement family. And you start literally sending it out. One thing to keep in mind is that when you do create your team goal, if you put in $200, you're really in actuality raising $100 during the day of the campaign, because we've already created some of that match, right? So anything of your goal, whatever number you put, is going to be matched. So Adele, if you put in that your goal is 360, then it is going to show, then really you're only raising half of that. Does that make sense? If you want to actually raise $360, then you double it. Does that make sense? Because at the moment, everything shows up on the website as if it's already been matched, because that's the goal, to be able to get the full 120. So if you put in $1,000 hard cash, you're only really raising 500. We're matching your 500 with the matchers that we've already brought in. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So just keep that in mind as you're making it. Hi, Karen, welcome. All right, next slide. So what I wanted to highlight here is that we have all of these sample texts and emails and messages and things for your page. We already have that done for you. So all you need to do literally is copy and paste, and Tanya can send you all of that information. So these are some samples that we've had in the past. And the biggest thing, like Gitti from Charidy just said, the biggest thing is to make the ask. Once you create your little link, even if you're only going to raise $100 or you're going to raise $1,000 or $5,000, whatever you're going to do, send it out to a list of 10 people, 20 people, however many you can think of. And like Gitti said, a third of them hopefully will give you something. So just make the ask. I want to give a personal example. We have family chats, and I have a large family, extended family. And just this past week, one of my nieces posted on our big family, our family chat group, and she said, I'm raising money for my school. Can somebody donate? And she put the link on the family chat. And I saw it, and then I went on to making dinner or whatever I was doing. But then she sent it to me privately. And guess what? When she sent it to me privately, I was like, hey, my niece just reached out. We need to donate to her. And we did. And so even just the small thing, right? We put something on social media, we send out a mass email. Sometimes making an individual ask means someone's like, oh no, they really asked me. Of course I'm going to say yes, because I love that person. So just by you being you and reaching out to the people that you know, that's how this happens. And I want to repeat, we cannot do this without you. We are reaching out to every person we know, trying to get our matchers. And we have been, really excitedly and humbled for people to step up and really put Friendship Circle at the forefront and say, yes, this is important. And we've gotten an amazing response, but we still need to bring it home. All right, next slide. So lastly, as I mentioned, we are going to give you, aside from the page that is easy to go make your team, which we just showed you, We are going to give you all the information you need to share it. The call script, if you want to make a phone call to someone, I don't know who does that anymore, but if you want to, we have that available. There you go. We also have text message samples, emails, social media, WhatsApp posts. We have everything you need. In addition, we also, for the first time this year, and maybe Peter, you'll appreciate this, we have for the first time this year, a call center we are actually going to do, right? We are post-COVID, not post, I don't want to be so bold, but we are going to have an in-person event the night of the campaign. So as I mentioned, the campaign is Tuesday, February 21st and Wednesday, February 22nd, 36 hours. Tuesday evening from 5 to 8 p.m. at the Friendship Circle offices, we are going to have an open call center where we are going to have, you can spend that time making your phone calls to your friends and family. We are going to have some lists of people that we need to reach out to, and we would love your help if you took 10 of those and said, hey, I'm calling on behalf of Friendship Circle. Would you consider donating? We're going to have some pizza and some food and some dinner and just a good time. And the camaraderie is so helpful. It's important, right? It really builds, as we've been talking about, the momentum, the excitement. So we would love for you guys to use the opportunity to come out on Tuesday night and be a part of it, kind of feel the excitement, because it really feels great. So that is what we are offering for you guys, that we can help you be successful in your goals. And lastly, at the behest of one of our board members, we put together this document, which is really helpful. So if you wanted to send this link to someone and said, this is my team link, I'm trying to raise $360, I would really love for you to donate. And they say, I saw that, but I don't know what the link is. Just tell me what this is. This is a document you can share. It shows the programs that we run. It shows pictures of our kids and what we do. And it has the basics of what we need. Practically during COVID, Friendship Circle grew. And it sounds kind of wild because we shut down like everyone did, but our teenagers needed us more, our families needed us more, and we grew. And now when we go do events in the community, they're like, wait, we can't have you all come in one time. You have to make different time slots, and we need you to come back 2 different Sundays because there's too many people. So we are growing, and we need really your help to make this work, because this is how we continue to do what we do. So we have this document. If you want to share it with your friends and family and say, this is what I'm doing, you can also just share them with them the link to our website, because all this information is on there as well. Last, there we go. And on campaign day, our goal and our hope with your help is that we are going to celebrate being able to do this, because this campaign gives us the cushion, the time, the energy, and the ability to think, to plan, and to do. And we really, really need your help. I don't know how many other ways I can say it, but we need your help. So please consider making a team. If you have a friend that would be willing to make a team, again, even if it's $100, it really, truly helps. So we need your help. We are grateful for your time here today and for your support of Friendship Circle. This recording go out to all those who were not able to make it today. And I know Gitty is already off, but we're really grateful for a Charidy team that has been supportive and helped us through this process. And we are excited about it. So I think we can stop recording now. And if there's any questions, we're happy to answer them now.